when you are an advocate for a client, whether they're big, in my case I represent the state, or small, which is in your case what you're probably doing to start if you can even get a job in this climate. But no matter how big or small that client, they're depending on you. And they're depending on you to do right by them. They're depending on you to bring them justice. They're depending on you to keep them out of jail. They're depending on you to get them monetary relief that they so often believe they deserve. And so that seems to me to be one of the things that you need to keep in mind. There are 3 different places you can go, broadly speaking, in the beginning. One is the private sector in terms of the private law firm. And you are not really choosing a job as you get sworn in today. You're choosing a profession. So while your first job may be at a big firm, a small firm, a government entity, doing temporary work, maybe you're not being able to get a job as a lawyer. By the way, things are going to get better, I think. One of the things you have to remember is this is just the first in a long course. This is a profession you have chosen. So if you choose to go to the private sector, you will have to make sure that you understand the responsibility you have to your clients. But you also, seems to me, you need to be cognizant of a few things. You have to work hard in zealously representing your client, whether you agree with them or disagree with them. But you need to do so with civility. And you need to do so with ethical and moral undertones. Because there is no case that is bigger than your reputation. And you can blow your reputation, and you can blow your integrity, and you can blow the power of your word in just one case if you get overzealous in that advocacy. So I would just use that as a word of caution. Secondly, pro bono. And I picked the 3 cases I picked earlier to talk about, to mention Dred Scott poll tax and gay rights. I picked for important reasons. One is we need to make sure we protect minorities. We need to make sure we protect poor people. And we need to make sure we protect people that might be different than we are. And you need to understand, it seems to me, the duty and the responsibility, and this court has been a leader in this way, in terms of pro bono. Being a lawyer, first of all, you're never going to get really rich by getting paid by the hour. So while you make a good living as a lawyer, you're not going to become crazy rich as a lawyer. But what you need to do is, it seems to me, is to make yourself feel good about what you do and make others feel good. If you give $1 to a homeless person, yes, you just gave them $1, but you feel pretty good about it when you walk away. Well, you can do that in a grander way in the pro bono world, and there are people that need your representation. You're just about to, in a few minutes, complete 20 years of education. In Animal House, they said there's 20 years of gone to waste, but we won't have that in your case. And you're going to finish 20 years of education. You can either choose to use that solely to enhance your own financial well-being, but I would suggest that you'll actually be much more rich and wealthy by engaging in pro bono work. Finally, because I've been a government lawyer at the state level, the county level, and the federal level, I would encourage you to consider at some point doing public service. There are many, many opportunities as a public lawyer, a government lawyer, where you can really do good. I'm a prosecutor, as I mentioned, and we don't have private prosecution in America. Someone in your family gets killed, or the person that shows up to be your prosecutor is who you get. You don't get to hire somebody. And we need to make sure we have the best, most ethical, and brightest people as our prosecutors. Likewise, we need that as public defenders, because poor people are often mischarged and prosecuted for a charge they didn't commit, or even if they didn't commit any offense at all. And they need to have the best representation available and the best representation possible. So I would encourage you to consider government service as well. I will conclude with a quote from a man named John Davis, who was an American politician, a diplomat, and a lawyer. And I think he gets it right. He says, "True, we build no bridges, we raise no towers, we construct no engines, we paint no pictures, unless as amateurs for our own principal amusement. There is little of all that we do which the eye of man can see, but we smooth out difficulties, We relieve stress, we correct mistakes, we take up other men's burdens, and by our efforts, we make possible the peaceful life of men in a peaceful state. Now, with the permission of the court, I move for the admission of the Bar of Maryland, the candidates seated here before you. I request, in accordance with your pre-assigned numerical order, starting with the candidate here in front of the podium, that the candidates please stand individually, announce your full name, and then resume your seat.
Laura Ginsberg Abelson.
Catherine Abramson.